What's up, guys? Welcome to your 51st Android tutorial for the new Boston. Again with me, Travis. What we're going to do in this tutorial is basically set up a menu for a menu class for the most part. So what I want you guys to do first is right click on your resource folder, and we're going to add a new folder to this that's going to hold all of our menus that we will create, which will probably just be one. Again, make sure you select the resource folder and in all lowercase type menu. Hit finish. And then in our menu class, we're going to add an XML file to this. So we're going to go Android XML file, or you can go to other Android and then Android XML file. And this is just the same way we set up a layout. And generally our layout would be clicked, but now as you can see, the menu is clicked. So it kind of knows what we're doing. And then we're just going to say cool menu, something like that. Underscore menu.xml. Again, all lowercase. And then you'll save yourself some headaches. Now what we're going to do is just click over into the actual XML code instead of our layout like that, and within our menu, as before, we'd see like linear layout here, but now it knows that it's a menu as well. So we're going to set up some items within our menu. As you do the open or greater than sign, you can see it takes a group or an item. We're going to set up some items. First thing we want our item to have is a title. So instead of saying text equals, it's actually title when we're working with menus. And we're going to say about us, something like that. And then we also need to say Android ID, and we set this up just like every other time, at plus ID / and then about us is what we're going to refer to our ID as. Then just to show you guys some other stuff, we can say Android, and then for example, Numeric Shortcut. If they have a keyboard on their phone, they could press like number 1, 2, 3, or whatever we set this equal to, such as 1. If they press the number 1 when our menu is inflated, it's going to select this item. And also, as well, you can do Android alphabetic shortcut equal like to A, which would be about us. It'd click this menu as well. So that's enough stuff within this menu, or this item for the most part. So we're just going to copy that and create one more item, and we're going to call this one preferences. And then for the ID, we're going to say preferences, and then just change. I'm just going to delete these because I don't really care about those for the most part. My phone doesn't have a keyboard, it's just touch screen, so and my mouse keeps dying on me, so can't really select stuff as well. Alright, so there we go. Got our two items set up. Just exit out of there, and as you can see, we have our menu called cool menu. Now I want you guys to open up the menu class that we set up, and as you guys noticed in the last tutorial, I haven't really thought through this whole tutorial series that much because I was getting that error, and for this one we're kind of going to get an error as well, but it's not going to be a big deal. And I'm also going to minimize all of these methods within here and our variables, and you can do that right here by these buttons next to our blocks of code, and just minimize it, then minimize our onCreate method, minimize our onList item click method, and it kind of cleans up your code. So they're still there, obviously, so you can, maximize and minimize. Then we're just going to go within this bracket here, and we're going to right click, and we're going to go down to source again, override implement methods, and it's not under a list activity, it's under a regular activity. We have a method called on options, what is it? On create options menu. Let's look for, yeah, it's right here, sorry. On create options menu, and that's where we're going to set up our menu for the most part. As you can see, it takes a menu variable within its parameters, and this is where I said I kind of wasn't thinking, for the most part wasn't thinking through. And so basically all it does is it defines a menu variable called menu lowercase, and as you can see, it has the Android.view, so it's kind of more specific, because if we didn't include that, for example, like this, what it'd be referring to is this class that we set up called menu, which is not what we want. So we probably should have labeled this class as something different, like my menu or something, because there's an actual class called menu from the Android SDK. So thankfully it kind of imports that for us as well. It's going to know it's talking about the SDK menu class, not our menu class. And then it's going to set up this variable menu that we can work with, but we aren't going to really worry about that. Now what I want you guys to do is, this is pretty important for now, so delete this return for this first line of code that most likely got imported. Delete that, otherwise we're going to get an error. And I'm just going to leave it there to show you guys, because a lot of times people like watch the tutorials and they get an error and they don't know where they messed up. So I'll show it to you guys one more time that we need to delete that. What we're going to set up within our bracket is something called a menu inflator, and this is going to inflate our menu for the most part. So we're going to say menu inflator, and we're going to say blow up, I don't know, something like that. Again, we have to import our menu inflator class so we can use its sweet methods, and we're just going to use a method called get menu inflator. So it's get menu inflator. This will kind of just be a method that we can use. So now we can say blow up dot inflate, which is a method from the menu class or menu inflator class. And as you can see, it takes a resource menu item and also a menu item as well. So our resource menu item is what we just set up in that menu class. So we're going to say r.menu, referring to the menu folder and our resources, and then cool menu, and we're good for our first parameter. Again, our second parameter, it gave us some data. We're going to use that data. That gives us, and they labeled that data menu, all lowercase, so that's what we're using there. And basically all we have to do now is get rid of that error, because again, if you guys weren't paying attention, this is where we fix this. So just delete the return, and then down below we're going to say return true, and then a semicolon. And basically we have our menu inflator working, and I'll show you what that looks like. So we run the program or run the application. And again, yeah, I probably should not called this class menu when we started, but no biggie. So now when we hit our menu item right here, it pops up a little menu for us with 2 menu items. And these menu items don't do anything. That's what we're going to set up in the next tutorial if you click them, but that's all that does. So there we go. I'll catch you guys in the next tutorial. Have a good one.